With the 10th anniversary of 9/11 quickly approaching, some troubling revelations are coming to light about what really happened on that tragic day and who may have been supporting Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda. 15 of the men involved in the attacks were from Saudi Arabia, and evidence is now surfacing suggesting all of them, including bin Laden, may have been bankrolled by the Saudi royal family. It's all part of a new book titled The 11th Day, The Full Story of 9/11 and Osama bin Laden. Anthony Summers co-wrote the book, and he's here to tell us part of the story that many Americans do not know. Anthony, thank you for being here. In your research and your conclusions, did you find here the Saudis helped bin Laden before or after 9/11?
We spent 5 years writing The 11th Day, and the Saudi involvement, or supposed involvement, ran through it like a thread. It was constant. It was constant before 9/11 and now, with the release of some 200,000 documents, many of which we were able to examine from the 9/11 Commission. We see that although the Commission reported elements of the Saudi involvement, they also blurred a great deal.
Who redacted that information?
Well, the redactions were from the congressional inquiry, the joint inquiry, which took place earlier. President Bush ordered the last chapter, the crucial chapter, which apparently involves above all, the Saudi angle, ordered it suppressed. And just a couple of years ago, when Obama came to office, he was asked by one of the bereaved families whether he would see that the chapter was released, and he has not done it. As for the 9/11 Commission report, that material was put in the footnotes at the back of the book, the stuff in the very tiny print that you almost need a magnifying glass to read. That should not be, and I think that the American public have a right to demand the release of all that material.
Anthony, what did you find about finding oil or justice, and one being more important than the other?
All administrations have to make strategic decisions, but I think this outrage against the United States was so vast, so unique, so unheard of, and the outrage and the grief has lasted so long that the public simply deserves to know the full truth, or as much of the full truth as we can know about something arcane and secretive that comes out of the Middle East.
Finally, I want to ask you, Anthony, in your study, 5 years for this book, you were able to come up with a hypothesis about what drove the hijackers and Osama bin Laden. Why?
I think it somehow disappeared in the fog of 9/11. The fact that certainly the young hijackers, the guys who learned to fly planes and flew the hijacked aircraft on the day, were absolutely driven not just by religious zeal, but by the Palestine-Israel issue. That's got lost in the fuss, and I think it's very important. It's also relevant to Osama bin Laden himself.
Now, of all of the investigation that you've done, probably more questions have arisen along the way. How much is known versus unknown, if you had to make a guess at this moment, about the tragedy of 9/11?
I think there's a lot more that could be made clear, but I think it's past official investigation now. I think an important area, again, that the public should know more about is why the CIA missed it. The CIA knew about and identified 2 of the 9/11 terrorists, the guys who arrived first in the United States, knew that they had visas to enter the United States, learned that one of them had actually entered the United States, and yet never shared that with the FBI.
All right, Anthony Summers, thank you so much, author of The 11th Day. Appreciate your time today. Thanks for watching.